Hey Harmonizers, welcome to this Mustang update. There's going to be a lot happening in this video. I'm going to show you a lot of our touching progress, moving along to introducing a friend to her to actually live with her for a little bit. So first up, I just wanted to show you a couple little interactions to start with. Here I'm on the right side where we finally get to do our first touch, which is super exciting. And you can see I just go in, little gentle touch, and I'm not actually using any type of positive reinforcement of like food or anything like that. I decided to just work on using my body language, focusing on finding a calm, relaxed presence with each other. And it's been a fun, different process to work through because normally I use treats or food or grain, whether it's really delicious grass or something, but she's not there yet, and there's literally no grass to pick anywhere, so not something that I can do or offer. And then here you can see working on a few little touches and coming over to the left side. And this is where you're going to start to see that she gets upset if I'm on her left side. So I reach out for a touch and she's like, nope, not okay with that. And it's pretty normal that horses will have a good side and a challenging side. Here you can see I work on it a little bit longer and get those touches on the left side as well. And I definitely find that it's different for different Mustangs. Some of them are really good on the left side, some of them are really good on the right side. So it does vary, although probably more are better on the left side than are the right side. But I allow the horse to basically tell me where I should start for their touches, which side of their body I should start for touches. And this is a pretty adorable moment here because this is it's either the first hand touch or one of the first hand touches where she actually sniffs out and is interested in my hand. So that's a pretty big moment for us too there. And interesting for her that, you know, she often doesn't really want to do a nose sniff or hand touch, anything like that. She'd rather I just come in and be by her shoulder. And I'm going to give you a little example of that here. Is she sees me standing over there. She was literally sniffing poop. And then she sees me standing over there. I offer my hand because I'm like, oh, okay, did you like come over to sniff my hand? And she comes over close to me. And I know that if I go towards her face, she tends to walk away. So I go over more to that neck shoulder area. And she's quite happy for me to come in and give her some rubs and some scratches there and just hang out with her. And this is kind of interesting here too, where I was on her left side and she's like, you know what, I would prefer if you were on my right side. And she kind of puts me in that right shoulder pocket. That's her preferred space for me to meet. So I come over and I give her a few little rubs because that's what she kind of presented to me as the place where she wanted to be rubbed. And then I do a little bit of transitioning of going to the other side again. So here I come over to the left side, and the horses, the way their brain works and their eyes work, going from the right left isn't quite the same for them. They definitely can be wild on one side and tame on the other. And so it's something that you need to practice a fair bit of doing some work on both sides. And this is kind of interesting because you can see I can go from right to left. There's actually a chicken that is waddling through the footage right now and decided to become part of our training session. And then here's a little bit of me walking behind her bum and working on, at first I was going around the front of her, then I go behind her and she's like, whoa, you appeared again on my left side. It's like, yep, like I literally was just on your left side, but she's like, can you just go back on my right side? I prefer you to be on my right side. So when she does that, sometimes I just go in and I give her a rub or two on the right side, and then I switch sides again and work on trying to be on that left side again, because I don't want her to feel wrong for presenting that right side. It's like I acknowledge that that's the easier side for you, but I still want to work on building confidence on that left side. And then here you can see it is a super blistery day. Even her mane is blowing around in the wind. But I finally was able to get two hands and starting to work on some of those big knots that are in her mane. And you can see the look on her face. She's like, I don't know what you are doing. I do not know if I'm okay with this. But our relationship is pretty relaxed. So she just kind of calmly walks away and is like, yeah, I'd rather not do that. And then this is Loki that is in with her. So Loki is a gelding that he's actually a boarder, and a section of our fencing wasn't zapping strong enough. The electric wasn't zapping. So even though we have a combination of like wood and electric or flex rail and electric, what was happening is he would go to where the flex rail was and he would literally just crawl through the fence because the electric part of it was not zapping. So he would just crawl right through and, just venture into different paddocks and move around. So I asked his owner if I had permission to try putting him with my Mustang because it's a solid wooden fenced pen, but also I thought it could be a good opportunity to see how she interacts with him, and maybe he could teach her some, helpful skills because Loki is a super friendly horse. And I thought, you know what, I've never experimented with that before, so I thought it'd be a pretty interesting thing to try. So his owner was okay with it, and our understanding was basically that Loki would live with my Mustang for a few days until we get the fencing all zapping again because it needs a few things fixed and our handyman needs to take a look at that. And so you can see the interaction's pretty pleasant, and there they are actually snuggling in the shelter together. So they became pretty bonded pretty quickly, and Loki is amazing. Loki is a great gelding because he, you can see he's so friendly. He just comes up to the gate, oh, a human, there you are. And that was part of what I was talking about. It would be interesting to see how that interaction affects her and what she does. And so this is me now coming into the pen with Loki there and with my Mustang there. And I'm just, Loki's like, oh, a human, I'm going to follow you around. And I thought this would be a cool thing to show her and to see how she responds to that, because it's not something that I've really tried before with my Mustangs. Normally I have more than one Mustang, and so the pen's already divided and kind of mixed up with a whole bunch of horses, and there's not really space to add any more. So this is just new and fun to try something a little bit different, just experimenting with different techniques. I'm all about learning and progressing and just, evolving. And horses, I know there's always more to learn and try. So even though I've had great success with how I've tamed Mustangs before, I thought, this will be fun to try something new. So you can see Loki is so friendly. I'm like brushing on him, moving around. He's just following me. He's doing really great. And Loki is so great because he's so friendly, but when like she was being dominant with him, he just kind of moves out of the way of the round bale feeder, but just kind of keeps going back to the round bale feeder. Is like, okay, I'll eat out of this side instead of that side. So there was never really, like, there was no kicking back, there's no biting from him, like, other than him being playful. He's pretty docile, but at the same time doesn't get picked on because he doesn't start a big kicking fight, but he doesn't go cower in the corner or anything like that. He just kind of does what he's going to do. And, if she gets a mean face on, he gets out of the way. And this is cute here, just following the side. And you can see my Mustang is kind of watching and following nearby, but at a distance. She's like, this is, different. And for me, like, the reason why this all came about is because Loki was escaping from his other paddock and needed to be moved anyways. And we did have other options. We could have moved him to other spaces, but I thought this will be fun to try this and just see what happens. But also, while this is going on, I'm realizing, oh, okay, so unless I take Loki out of the field, I'm not really going to be able to do actual sessions with my horse, my Mustang, because as we're doing this going around, and I'm like, oh, I actually start trotting, and you can see my Mustang even starts trotting after me, and they all just kind of run around with me, which is super cute. But I realized, like, okay, Loki's stealing the show here, and it's mostly interacting with him. It's neat because I'm in the pen and she's in the pen, and so they both, get to see me. I'm moving around with them, and she's getting to see how this horse is really friendly, not scared of me at all. And he's the type that he's gonna come to the gate. He'll be getting taken out for riding sessions. But because of my schedule with all the different things I have going on, the different appointments, the kids and everything, I can't always time coming out to work with my Mustang when his owner's up doing a session with Loki. So I just kind of play around with Loki, pet him around, and it's okay that it's going to be a few days not working with my own Mustang the way I have been, because I thought this is all just part of an interesting experience to see, what are the pros, what are the cons, what's going to happen moving forward out of this. Am I still going to be able to keep the same relationship that I had with my Mustang? This is the first time going in and interacting, and you can see Loki's friendly, but my Mustang's standing off in the distance. So this is going to be interesting to see how the next few days go. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.